Keenan Allen has been ruled out with COVID for Sunday's game against the New York Giants. So what does this mean for the rest of the Chargers? Is there anybody else that steps up and merits start consideration? Let's find out. Since the bye in Week 7 in the last 6 games, Keenan Allen has been getting 11 targets per game, and that definitely opens up a lot of volume for other players. I think the player who benefits the most is definitely Austin Ekeler. He's for sure a top 3 running back this week, and without a doubt, he is a must-start, needs to be in your lineup. Like always, it looks like Mike Williams is going to be available after all for this game, though. He has yet to test positive for COVID, but he remains in the protocol, but I think he's going to be cleared in time. Everyone is expecting him to go. So he definitely benefits as well. He would become the number 1 wide receiver and probably see another 3 or 4 targets than what he's already getting, which is about 7 targets per game at the moment. So I think 10 or 11 is also safe to project for Mike Williams, and with that type of workload, he's definitely a must-start wide receiver. I had him ranked as wide receiver 21 a couple days ago, but with this news about Keenan Allen, I've bumped him up to wide receiver 12. You need him in your lineup as long as he starts. There is a scenario where he doesn't play, however, in which case you will need a backup plan. So let's consider the worst-case scenario where both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are unavailable. Jalen Guyton is currently the next wide receiver on the depth chart, but this season, he is not the most reliable player. He only has a 56.3 catch percentage and is used much more as a deep threat. He averages 16.1 yards per reception, which is almost identical to Mike Williams' stats in both of those categories. So I wouldn't really count on him replacing Keenan Allen. I think he would just replace Mike Williams. And even though it's definitely a bump up, he has some upside. He can always take one to the house. I wouldn't really want to count on him as the number 1 play. Instead, I would look to the rookie Josh Palmer to replace Keenan Allen's role. When you look at those 2 key stats of catch percentage and yards per reception, he is almost identical to Keenan Allen. Josh Palmer is catching 71.4% of his passes. Keenan is catching 69.4%. And Palmer is averaging 11.2 yards per reception, whereas Keenan averages 10.9. So really, really similar stats in those 2 categories. Josh Palmer fits that type of mold, and he's been getting all of the first-team reps in practice this week. I think that he has a chance to be featured by the Chargers on Sunday, and I think he would be the player that replaces that Keenan Allen role. If it's that worst case scenario that I mentioned where both Keenan and Mike Williams aren't available, then there's 17 targets that would become available for the Chargers passing game. Those can't all go to Ekeler, and I think there's a shot that about 9 or 10 of them go in the direction of Josh Palmer. He is a rookie after all. They want to know what they got in this 3rd rounder from Tennessee, and I think in PPR leagues he's going to have a very high floor. I would be interested in taking a shot on him if and only if Mike Williams cannot play as well as Keenan Allen. The Giants haven't given up a single touchdown to opposing tight ends in the last 8 games, so that's why I'm not really looking to Jared Cook to step up that much. His usage has been a bit up and down this season. So overall, Austin Ekeler is definitely a must-start. He's my running back 2 this week. Mike Williams has become a top 12 wide receiver without Keenan Allen. He's also a must-start. Jalen Guyton does have some upside, but like we mentioned, carries plenty of risk. I would rather not count on him. Jared Cook does have some streaming appeal. He's my tight end 11 in my rankings this week, but keep your eyes peeled on the game status for Mike Williams and keep your eye out for Josh Palmer. He is available in 99% of ESPN leagues. The Chargers defense, though, is a must-start this week. They are set up for success against a Giants team that's been decimated by injuries, and they are definitely a top 5 defense for me this week. If you need a streamer and they're available, you should pick them up. But if you'd like to check out my rankings for quarterback, tight ends, defenses, or running back and wide receiver, I'll have that available here. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more content. My name is Adam Riancho, and thank you for watching Nice and Blunt.